Of marijuana or cannabis, it's very important because very many young people and older people are being deprived of their right to employment and their right to contribute to this society and the economy through a criminal record that they might have that is unrelated to the job. So I do hope everybody out there will realize that this is an incredible wrong, contempt of the government towards the people, and needs to be righted.
Here, that was nice. So you're on Pod TV.
Wonderful.
Check this out later if you want. We're filming live right now.
Excellent.
We have a bunch of viewers out there, a lot of people in the chat room. Love that you brought a little sign out with you. Legalize.
Hastily put together, but you know, decriminalize was a bit long to write, and really this is the end goal, folks.
That's true.
One of the things as well, I do have a
280 something days and Mark's sentence will be over, and it won't matter if you know, any of this shit happens. I mean, he's gonna be free faster if he finishes his sentence in the United States. And I think if I were in Mark's shoes, which I know nobody really cares or doesn't want to hear, but if I were in Mark's shoes, it's almost like it's a difference between getting sentenced to 2 years less a day or getting sentenced to 2 years. You'd rather get a 2-year sentence because it means you're going to come home 8 months earlier. Well, in this situation, Mark will be free and clear, off of parole, off of probation on July 19th, 2014. If Canada and the US make a transfer agreement, there's a good chance that his parole and probation conditions could last till 2015. So, you know, I think Mark should come home on July 9th free and clear, and not let the government have any control over him whatsoever. But anyways, that's what I would do. So we'll see what happens. The question is why hasn't the Canadian government responded to the transfer request that's already been approved by the United States? That transfer request is just sitting on someone's desk somewhere, being pushed to the back of a pile.
Steve Blaney.
Steve Blaney, thank you. And Mark deserves more respect than that.
Jeremiah says hi.
Hey Jeremiah, what's up? Love you, bro.
Hi Jeremiah.
You girl, where's Brittany? Get in here.
I'm over here.
She's busy.
Mississauga News is here. Taking pictures.
And Brittany's been on the phone making sure City TV and other global TV outlets come here. She's a really good person to have at one of these events.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. We are going to start marching down towards Stella Ambler's, the Conservative MP's office, shortly. Is everybody ready right now, actually? Woo! Everybody's ready! Alright, we are now going to march towards Stella Ambler's office and have some speeches over there. Quick speeches. For freedom! For medical freedom! Alright, here we go.
Hi Jeremiah. Hi Chris.
Hi Britt.
Hi everybody on Pod TV.
Yeah, this isn't the Hash Mob event.
Legalize it. Legalize it. Legalize it. Legalize it.
Legalize it.
Free Marc Emery.
Free Marc Emery.
Free Marc Emery.
Free Marc Emery.
Legalize it. Free Marc Emery.
We are marching to the local MP's office to bring attention to the fact that Marc Emery has been in jail in the United States for a 5-year prison sentence.
Stella Ambler, thanks.
The Canadian government allowed the DEA to come to Canada and arrest our Canadian citizen and sentence him to 5 years for selling marijuana seeds. Now, Mark's transfer has been approved to come back to Canada to serve the rest of his sentence, and the Canadian government has not responded. Free Mark today! In jail with him.
In jail with him, eh? Yeah. Oh, great. That's where he belongs? Thanks so much, sir. Thanks. Thanks.
Using marijuana is a personal choice. We are not criminals. Marc should not be in jail for selling seeds online. He should be applauded for planting the seeds of freedom all across North America and the world. Nobody belongs in jail for using marijuana. Nobody belongs in jail for selling seeds.
Drive down Lakeshore and you'll see us. Thank you. Bye. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Free Marc Emery.
It's nice to see you in Mississauga.
Oh, I know. It's not that far from home either, so
Yeah.
it's good.
Cops are deploying their bikes.
Oh, they're coming out everywhere. Woo! Free Marc Emery! Woo!
We are walking towards my work, which is good. Free Marc Emery! Free Marc Emery! Free Marc Emery! Free Marc Emery! What I should have done. Overthrow the government! Seeds of freedom!
Hi,
Hello.
how's it
Legalize
going?
marijuana
I
and
heard
end
you
the
on the
war
megaphone.
drugs.
I was on the megaphone.
Legalize marijuana
Trying to be straight to the
and
point.
end the evil war on drugs.
Matt Oliver was doing a really good job too.
Free
taking
Marc
their
Emery! Free Marc 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 Emery! Legalize it! Legalize it! Legalize it! Legalize it! Legalize it!
Legalize it!
Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc Emery! Free Marc Emery! Jimmy, the best thing is good for you. I like yelling, because I'm yelling, Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc Emery!
Free Marc
There's bike cops pulling over.
I see.
Cop with
Free
bike.
Marc now!
Free Marc now!
Free Marc now!
Free Marc now!
Accepted as soon as possible.
Seeds of freedom! Free Marc Emery!
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 Free Marc Emery! Marc Emery! Thank you participants for making it down here today to the conservative health riding of Mississauga South. We're down here today to fight for the legalization of marijuana and the freedom of Marc Emery, who was extradited to the United States for selling marijuana seeds to DEA agents who came up to Canada and entrapped the man. This is wrong. Archaeologists and anthropologists have found evidence at sites worldwide of the ancient and ongoing use of cannabis and marijuana among human beings. The very receptors in our bodies for cannabinoids demonstrate that we were made to use this plant. In the Bible, God tells Jonathan in the chapter of Samuel to swipe his rod through the fields of sweet-smelling reeds and use the resin that comes from them.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a plant that we are supposed to use as our medicine, as our food, as our clothing, as the paper we write on. We have evolved hand in hand with this plant. Thousands of Canadians every year are receiving criminal records for the simple possession and cultivation of a plant that should be legal because it is benign and it is good for you. It is a travesty and contempt for the people of Canada and the people of Ontario that once you have a criminal record, no matter how minor, you may be discriminated against in employment for this criminal record, even if you were never convicted. It is wrong and it is a crime against the Canadian people, and it is time to end the prohibition on marijuana and bring Marc Emery back. Thank you.
To Canada. He was extradited by the U.S. government back in 2010. The U.S. has now approved his transfer back to Canada to serve the rest of his sentence in his home country, but the Canadian minister hasn't approved his transfer back. So we're here to lay a little pressure down on the Conservative government with some of the NDP from this local ride-in to hopefully get them to sign the papers to bring Marc Emery back to Canada.
Where exactly is Marc Emery right
He
now?
is in Yazoo City, Mississippi, serving a 5-year sentence for selling seeds to the United States.
Enlighten us a little bit because in some states, in the United States, they just legalize it.
Yep. Some states are legalizing medicinally, but unfortunately federal law says that marijuana reproduction is illegal, so that is why he got extradited 4 years ago down to the U.S. And now we've seen much more legalization throughout the states with the support of legalization of medicinal marijuana. And it's time to bring Marc home, really. Times are changing.
What was his situation when he was in Canada? His legal status here.
He is a Canadian citizen. He was working at Cannabis Culture headquarters as well as BCMP in Vancouver, BC on West Hastings Street. He's a political activist in Canada, and he's just trying to help us support the legalization so that we can be free and we're not going to jail for stupid stuff anymore.
How much of a sentence has been served yet?
5 years in a U.S. federal penitentiary.
No, but so far, how much?
He has served 3 years, 8 months. He has 280 days to go, approximately.
All right. I mean, I'm just trying to think that sometimes criminals are let go half or 1/3 the sentence, and
the minimum he can stay in jail is 4 years, 2 months, which he will
5/6.
July 9th.
5/6 of the sentence, though.
5/6 of the sentence. Yeah, so 4 years, 2 months. He'll be free on July 9th, 2015.
have you contacted Stella Ambler?
No, we haven't contacted her personally, but I'm sure she'll be aware that we are here.
Okay, so what's the next step?
Hopefully the minister signs the papers and brings Marc home. Steve Blaney is who we need to get to sign the papers.
Yeah, how long would that process take?
Well, it's taken far too long as it is. It should have already been done long ago. If he signs the papers, Marc could be on his way home in no time.
All right.
With their lawyer fees. He would use his money for people he didn't know to help pay for their lawyer fees when they were wrongfully arrested. So he's one of the greatest people I've ever met for all of those reasons. And the fact that he's been sent 5 years to the United States for doing this is appalling. It's appalling that he was arrested and extradited. It's appalling that he's been there for this long. And now that his transfer request has been approved by the United States, it's appalling that the Canadian government has not responded to it. If they'd sign it, he could be home within a month. After that piece of paper is signed, it takes 30 days, he'll be back in Canada. And the Canadian government's just refusing to look at that.